back. I was streaming and someone called. I'm using my phone to stream, excuse me. And when they called, it interrupted the stream. And anyway, we're back here. I'm probably, I don't know, I might delete that old stream, I guess. It's just pretty dumb, anyways. So there wasn't much on there. Maybe my friends will join me again for this exciting episode of Live Art with Donald Kent having the hiccups. So as I was describing in the previous episode, excuse me, I'm sorry, I hate this. I'm very embarrassed. You can have a good laugh at me today. This character is called the Deep State, and the play on words is that like he's lives in the deep of the ocean. He's kind of an Aquaman style character. His, I believe the logo on his chest is the same as this FBI or something, or CIA. So Deep State, you get the illusion. Hippocratic Oath here. I think the water drinking method works, but you need to arch your head and upper back forward and down instead of lifting your glass normally. I will try. I will try that right now. I mean, I heard that works. I've never tried it. Oh, this makes me want to drown drinking like this, though. All right, hopefully that'll do something. I can delete that other stream. Okay. Yeah, muscles are super sore today. Okay. So thanks for joining me again. It's sometimes weird technical things happen and streams get cut off. It's funny because I'm like the guy that I'm really patient with people, but when technology screws up, I get super angry. Not actually a big fan of bongos in house music. I feel like they're just kind of cheesy. You know, they just sound like canned music. Maybe I should change the music here. So in this scene, these Deep State characters are kidnapping this child who is kind of groomed into a fake superhero, it's more of a supervillain um, down the road in the story. Just kind of a little bit of backstory. Uh-oh, here comes a stupid commercial again. Maybe I'll just talk over it for a minute, and then I'll hit skip, and then you can yell at me for not getting Brave browser. This whole show could be like a Brave browser advertisement. Don't like YouTube interruptions. I seem to be breathing better, guys. I think it worked. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Nice. Very good. House music needs more cowbell. Yes. Less bongos and saxophone and more cowbell, right? Another classic SNL. I think of like when I was in college, SNL was like the thing, you know, it was like super funny and everybody loved it, and then just got creepier and creepier, you know, more and more shitty. Anyway. I always sort of noticed that kind of like SNL to movie pipeline that they kind of had, you know, like whoever was on SNL that became popular, you know, after so many years there, you'd start seeing, you know, movies come out and that shit. Who's the short guy that does Making Copies? What's his name? He's like a big Patriot dude now. Making Copies. What else is he known for? There's this one skit where he works in like it's like a gift shop with like things from different countries with, you know, like, you know, sculptures and stuff you decorate your house with. And he's sort of a hippie dude, and, you know, people are shopping there, and they're like, oh, wow, this is fascinating. What is this? It looks like a, you know, like an African god statue or something. What is this? Oh, you put your weed in it, you know. Like every single thing at the store, he would say you put your weed in it, you know. It's just like a cliche, funny skit. Let's see. Robert Schneider. There you go. Yeah. I really like these sort of like entertainers that turn out to be like right wingers. You know, Jim Brewer is a great example. He does some very really scathing humor on the vaccine. Scathing humor, you know. But then also there's this. You know, I just like Jim Brewer, but like he's got this one skit, not skit, like bit that he does on his live show, where he imitates AC/DC, and like he's freaking incredible. He's like, his voice is exactly, he's able to pull off that exact same singing style. It's not Bon Scott, it's the other, like the more recent guy. I, you guys will tell me his name in a second. You know how good I am with remembering names. But it's like shocking how like it's identical, you know. And the joke of the bit is that, you know, like AC/DC could sing anything and it would be badass, you know. So he's got like a band. It's, you know, it's a live show, and he's got a band, and they start playing Back in Black. You know, that's like the music of it. But he starts singing. What's the one? You put your left foot in, you put your right foot out, and turn it all around. Do the hokey pokey, yeah. So he sings like the hokey pokey to that music. Somehow he makes it work. I know that sounds absurd, but it's just really funny. You know, the dude's a wackadoo. We got Zara Khan is here. Hey, do you have Instagram art? I I kind of, you know what I would suggest is that you would go to my website, kent-art.weebly, and weebly.com. It's, that link is on the homepage of this YouTube, my YouTube channel. You can click right there, and you can get a nice portfolio of work. Are you interested in just looking at it? Are you interested in buying some or commissioning some? Or I also, like, people like to mash up my art, or, you know, like there's a lot of people will do like digital art and they'll do mashups. So like I've got a guy right now on, you know, who's doing that. So just let me know more about what your intent is. Joy Reid is secretly on our side. She got caught on a hot mic. I saw that, saying Biden wants to start another effing war. That was so funny. I'm very sure she's not on our side, but like that was a very great moment though. Hot mic moment, right? Like you can't take that back. Biden, what was he talking about? Like there was something. Oh yeah, he was saying, oh, the secure the border or some, you know, some bullshit like that, you know. And then he goes on to say like, or what? Well, she says on a hot mic like, yeah, well, you're starting another effing war. You know? It's just so insane. Shit's crazy. Anyway, welcome Zara. Welcome to the team. Tons of stuff to check out on my YouTube and my website. Welcome B, Kent Art. I finally caught you live. Yes. I think I just like responded to you the other day, like yesterday, on one of your, well, you like made a message, not message, when you put a comment under there. Anyway, yeah, I'm taking the day off, recovering from a little visit to the hospital, and getting caught up on some artwork and blah blah blah. So one of the, what do you call it, one of the side effects of the anesthesia that I went under is like sore muscles though. So like I feel like I was just in a car accident. Like everybody have ever been in a car accident, and it, like, you know, I mean, it's like your whole body got punched super hard and every muscle kind of thing. You know, it's a really bad feeling, you know. But it's gradually subsiding, like kind of really sort of slowly going away. So that's good. I get, since we got a couple new people here, I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of the book. I'll pull out some old pages, not old, but like pages of the story. These are sort of the more recent pages. This is, I'll be inking this shortly. Can I zoom out anymore? No. Um, the concept of the story is that these are memes. These are from memes. If you guys have ever seen, well, long story short, the story plays on all kinds of pop culture and conspiracy theories and brings them into a superhero comic book story setting. So the drain the swamp. These politicians are, kind of like swamp creatures. You've heard of the cathedral. Have you heard of the concept of the cathedral? They're inside this cathedral setting. You've got they're turning into like swamp creatures. You can see. So it's like a romp into political memes and pop culture. So, but it's just got badassery all around. Really cool shit going down. And great fight scenes, fun art, great banter, and then me. So that's the bonus. That's the cherry on top. Gotta go to work, but came by to encourage you. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Keep Promethean. Yes, indeed. Hail so hard. You have a great day at work, brother. Anesthesia ages your brain like 10 years. Don't fucking tell me that. For every hour you are out. Oh, God, that's horrible. I didn't know that. Well, damn. No wonder I'm feeling so mature. What else we got? Finally caught you. Let's see. Is Zara still here? I don't know if Zara was Zara Khan. Tell me more about yourself, Zara Khan. What's shaking? How do you like my work? So yeah, it's always. I feel like every once in a while it's good to do a little preview, review, and see like what's going on in the story. Give people a little stronger sense of how things pan out. I just noticed I didn't finish inking this page. Not good. All right, we'll set that one aside. These two bad boys have got to get done. I only have. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah. Oh yeah. And we'll get back to the action here. That Joy Reid thing was so funny. Let's see. All right. Oh man. Oh. Oh, so when I woke up, I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck?" I felt like I got hit by a truck, and it was like, ugh. Anyway, whatever. Let's stop complaining. Everybody loves hearing you complain, Don. Let's see, that's not quite right. Anatomy. So yeah, it's just a lot of focus on just getting my shit together. I got a lot going on right now. I did mention on the earlier stream, but I'm gonna delete that other stream. That I have a friend she was one of the first people that interviewed me when I started in this world, and she specializes on German history, and so she's going to be coming back to do a show, essentially on tying together German history with current events, so that like the narrative of like World War II and how it all ties together. You guys get the idea. So I think that's a great niche topic. I think that Germany has been very brutalized, and this is a good thing. So I will be assisting her in some way or another, talking over this background commercial. If I don't get paid, then I'm not helping you advertise your stuff, you know. Um, it's kind of another thing. I like people who wear, like shirts and things that have like the logos of companies on them. I always thought, like, do you get paid to do that? You know, why, like, do you think that's aesthetically pleasing in some way? Like, why do you do that? Anyway, so moving on here, folks. What do we got? Couple comments. Many Groypers were killed in this comic. Ah, yeah, this comic is all over the place. It doesn't. I mean, I think it's, you're gonna say that it leans right, obviously, but it kind of pokes fun of everybody, and I think that's sort of kind of how you have to do it in a way. Like that's. But anyway, that's the writer's prerogative. That's his position. Hippocratic Oath says Israel spawning wars is doing her work on rehabilitating Germans easier. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a whole thing. Gosh, like it's, I don't know. It just seems to me that like more and more people are totally against Israel now, and they get it. And there's different sort of reasons, I suppose. I mean, there's the whole, human rights shit, and the new thing I just heard is a sort of a new announcement is that Hamas is going to, is it Egypt or Saudi Arabia? Shit, one of those countries to do a like peace talks. And it's understood that the peace talks include accepting the terms where America will come into Gaza and then act as a sort of like, they will demilitarize Gaza, and then the truth of the matter is that that will just simply allow the Jews to wipe out the rest of them without any fuss. That's America, and America is Israel's slave. It does its dirty work for it, and like all of that, I feel like for anyone that has half a fucking brain, what am I doing? I'm giving this guy sneakers. he's like a Norse god, and I've got him like pants, jeans, and sneakers. Stop talking and draw. But anyway, I think you're getting the idea here. It's they are just absolutely sick. Israel is just it's really rough. Oh, but here's an interesting story though. So a family member reaches out to me last night and it's like, how you doing? Da da da. Something something. Hope you're well. Something something. And we just got to chatting. We're just texting, And I don't even remember how the conversation started, but I guess. Oh, I was talking about the medical industry and how I don't have faith in the medical industry. And she had some serious medical issues herself to go through, so she was very sympathetic to that idea. And she's not like political really at all, more right leaning, but just doesn't pay attention or know what's going on. So I said, don't worry, I've got in the nationalist community, there's a lot of alternative medicine that I can utilize, and I'm already getting a lot of information on that, and I'll be fine. I'm gonna get into this stuff. And she's like, nationalist? What's that? Like I was like, oh, okay, well, here we go. And I'm like very cautiously walking on eggs through this topic. And and then she's obviously interested in like alternative stuff in this regard, agreeing with me that like, the system is fucked, and it's just, they don't care about your health. They just rather murder you, basically. So, dude, I'm J pilling her now. Like I was, well, what's a nationalist? Okay, well, it's the opposite of a globalist. And well, what's a globalist? Well, she knows that much in terms of like, the global elite who, this and that and the other thing. And so the conversation is just taking off. And I'm warning her. I'm like, listen, like, I don't want, I know a lot of stuff, and I don't want to like upset you. And I'll be honest with you, the family has told me to shut up about politics. Don't talk about it. So like, I'm feeling her out, kind of. I don't like to use that term, but like, I'm trying to feel out, how does this, can you jive with this conversation, or are you going to be crazy? And she just kept kind of like, yeah, no, give me more, tell me more. So, and then at one point she's like, my husband and I are voting for Trump, and they live closer to the border, so that's a pretty serious. They get the feeling of the seriousness of it, right? And so that opened up a little door there, like, oh, okay, I can kind of see where you are on the spectrum, political spectrum, and on and on. And then of course she asked me about the vaccine, and then I brought up my mom and this whole medical malpractice and all this stuff. But at one point I said, like, how I was describing it to her was that the Zionists, I wasn't saying Jews, the Zionists are the ones that are behind it all. It's well, what's Zionism? Okay, well, and while I'm describing it to her, she's kind of looking it up, and I'm explaining, you're not, the information is controlled. You're not gonna get the answer. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get or it'll be kind of like truncated, and then I started sending her memes. I was saying, look up Theodore Herzl and the Zionist Congress. Look up, what else did I say? What was the other one? Fuck, what was the other one? The Protocols of Zion, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. And then I mentioned, did you know that Israel did 9/11? And that's when her ears really like perked up. Like, oh, I mean, we're texting, but and she was like, holy shit. Like, what? That's a, see, for America, 9/11 is the big narrative. You know what I'm saying? That's the turning point where everything went to shit. That's where for most Americans, I would say, and anyway, like this morning we continued talking about it. I sent her the Dancing Israelis documentary on BitChute. And she's very receptive. She's very, very receptive. So, and I was trying to explain to her, like, on the right-wing spectrum, you've got, like, Trump supporters, Christian nationalists, and then the far right. And these are all part of one spectrum. So I feel like I'm walking on thin ice a bit with this, so I'm not going to go too crazy, on this topic with her. But I'm pretty happy with what I've accomplished so far. It can be done. Donald with his dancing Israeli suave move. The first rule still applies, though. Oh, a lot of comments here. Zara, no, I already read that. Oh, okay. What's that? Okay. Anyway, no, this is not a disco chick. It's not one of those. I did have a fantastic night the other night, though, when I went out. Remember how I was all like, oh, I don't know if I want to go out. And then I just overcame myself and went out. And golly gee, sure enough, maybe a little tricky thing happened. It's pretty. I would say that this girl is like half German, half Irish. She's very pretty, and she was dancing with me, and kind of broke the barrier there, and tried to like want to give me a high five, and sort of. So then what's your name? And this, and Christine. Oh, so da da da. And so we're having a kind of a nice time, and things are going well, and then her boyfriend comes over. So like, or I don't know if it was a boyfriend, but what appeared to be her date, I would say, because you can kind of fill in the blanks on the rest of the story there. So like, whenever he was like not on the dance floor, she was over with me, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm not gonna engage in that, but like, and if you're dancing and a girl comes up and dances with you, you dance, you're just like, hey, yeah, there you are, But I don't know. I mean, honestly, it just feels nice to, to know that someone's attracted to you, and that you can just. And again, like I wasn't interfering with anything or really getting into any kind of shit with that. So, but then really the highlights were really just seeing those friends that I know out on the scene and like joking around. One guy that I spar with was there with his girlfriend, and we were pretty much like a crew that night. We'd hang out together and joke around a lot and just have just a super super time. So yeah, man, what is it? You gotta have some fun with your friends. So that was a good thing. That's a little weird. I mean, I was all hopeful. I was like, oh wow, maybe this is the one. Maybe I'll get her number. We'll get together. We'll get to know each other, and then it's fucking shit. So like, it's tricky out there, guys. Tricky. That's kind of another thing. Is it's a whole like, when am I gonna get around to actually dating again? I'm like always so fucking busy. Well, I got a new freelance job. I got this, I got that. So I don't know, guys. What's your take on the whole NATO war games thing right now? They're like all over Europe right now, essentially surrounding Russia. It's one of the trickier things to do in comics is to draw with perspective, like forced perspective. You know, that's sort of like, so like things farther away are smaller, things closer are larger. You know, it's an important part of the dynamics of comics art and the medium. You know. And once you get the figure set in, that's when you add, you know, like whatever, like what I call dress the mannequin, which is essentially putting on, you know, the clothes and the eyes and the ears, the nose, the hair, all that stuff. And after you've done that, then you go in and put some cool shadows in there, make it look more badass. I think I might just have him holding the hammer like right up by the hilt. That's okay. I think that works okay. I could change the music if you guys are into it, if you want. I need a full body reference of this character. Shit. That's another hard part about comics is like every character has their own uniform and you got to make sure that it's consistent from panel to panel, page to page, you know. Shit, I think I'm gonna have to get back to that. But yeah, anyway. I'm thinking I'd really like to go to England. Alright, so that's not bad for now. It's the guy that, hey, there are clubs in Western Ukraine. People still go there on vacation. I actually saw some clips of that, like while the men in Ukraine are dying in the trenches, all these women are in their bikinis, you know, walking around a pool with martinis or something. Is this, you know, like that's another one of those like Jewish war death traps. That's just a depopulation program. It's you know, what do they call it? That Greater Israel Project. That's in the Middle East. Like a second Israel. That's essentially what they're literally saying that. You know, like, yeah, Ukraine's going to be a second Israel. You know. World domination. Once they defeat America and set up Russia and China as their new bitches, then they'll go to Ukraine to have all their little child trafficking fun. Well, that was really harsh what I just said. They're not going to win, and that's that. And America's not going to lose. We have a Hulk. All right. So last panel here. I suppose I could I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll just finish this page up, though. So, the boy that's being kidnapped here is going to appear here. And he's essentially like... It's kind of like he's being saved, you know, like that was the whole psyop, I guess, is to kidnap him and then send this guy to save him. And I don't know. I'll have to read the script again. A little fatigued though. Tiny bit. But yeah, what compels a guy to want to be a comic book artist? I mean, comics are like way more mainstream now than they used to be. I don't think that they have quite the stigma of being like. I suppose they're still thought of as kind of nerdy, to some extent. But the thing is that they've just become so popularized, though. Um, for me, it's an art form. It's a storytelling art form. You got novels and you got graphic novels, and plus, I just there's so much amazing art that like I think I always really enjoyed that side of it. That it just dazzled my eyes. I will say like the whole superhero element is a massive draw for me. It's like some people like sports, some people like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, everyone's got different tastes, but like, there's just something exciting about these people that have these abilities that none of us have. I think it plugs right into the same. Uh, I don't know, the primal mind of mythology. That like whatever drove man to um, write and disseminate stories of mythology. I feel like it's the same. It's the same instinct, same kind of draw, if you will. Um, I always think of comics as modern mythology, so and like the superhero being like the modern myth, you know. But it just really, 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 like when I was a little kid and I first saw these things, half of it being like I'm a budding artist, and then the other half they're just freaking amazing to a child's mind, because children don't have to, they don't think like, I don't know how to say this, like they don't filter things in a way whereas like adults do. Adults are very much, well, that's not real and it's fantasy and I'm judging it, I'm gonna judge you for it. Oh, you like Star Wars? What are you, weird? Like, fuck off, like get a fucking heart for 10 seconds. Like, not everything is fucking science and like, money and, what kind of car do you drive and all this fucking shit. Like, I've always hated that kind of lack of imagination in people. And, but then look at me. I judge the hell out of people who like sports too much. I'm a total hypocrite. I think the difference is that like, if Superman dies in some movie or an issue, I don't like have a complete fucking mental breakdown over it. You know what I mean? like these. I see people crying and shit, at these games, Or like there was a time when somebody got shot recently, like a fan shot another fan. Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, always trying to make excuses. Why is that? I still blame that on my college professor when she was like, it's good, but it's very illustrative. Oh, you can never be an artist because your art is illustrative, I guess every artist has that, I don't know, what is it? It's like a little damaging thing that happened to them somewhere. I think you guys, that's part of the Donald Kent lore. There you go. And when he was a child, he had this bad experience, and it formed him into the Batman. No, it wasn't that severe. I do try to explain it to people like, okay, you know that. Tell me about a Netflix series you like, or tell me about a TV show you follow. My mom was really into CSI. She loved those like medical detective shows, and there's the same characters on every show, and you know, you get attached to the excuse me, to the characters, and they have personalities that interact with other personalities, and I'm like, the same thing happens in comics. Like you've got all these characters have histories. They have a lot going on, and just because it's on paper doesn't mean it's like less valid or entertaining. It's it's still fiction. Of course, there's historic graphic novels and stuff too. It's another topic. What do we got? Mr. Oaf has made many comments here. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm here. I pop in and out while working. What's up? I consider the frescoes of the Sistine Chapel as an early comic. Dude, see, you're right on board here. Okay, like when I used to be an art teacher, I had a whole curriculum of teaching comics, and I showed, like PowerPoints where it'd be like, okay, what's this? It's sequential art. It's art in a sequence. What does comics do? Oh, art, a sequential art. Oh, it's a fucking form of art, but somewhere along the line, it just got a bad name, or something. You guys might have heard of, I forget his first name. Wortham is his last name. Dr. or something Wortham. He was a psychiatrist in I think that maybe 1940s, and he was the one that came out with the book. Essentially, he had this theory that comic books created juvenile delinquency and like crime and violent behavior in children. Of course, that would grow up to be criminals. And he took it all the way to the Supreme Court. And then there was this like comic book burning campaigns around America, and it's a big part of history. Then after that, it almost destroyed the industry. But after that, they started a thing called the Comics Code, which they don't do anymore now because now it's all faggotry. But the Comics Code basically had to go, every single comic book had to go in front of a panel of like spinsters, for them to look at it and say, oh, no, there's, you can't show this, or you can't show that, you can't say that, whatever, I don't know. I mean, like, that's so long ago. It seems to me like, I don't know. It's just odd, Maybe I'm out of touch. Shit. Did not work as I wanted it to. Another thing that's tricky is like, drawing children. Children have different anatomy. They have bigger heads and smaller chins, bigger eyes. Their torsos are different. You don't want to just draw like a short adult, you know what I mean? You want to make sure that it looks like a kid, you know what I mean? There's something to it. Oh boy. Stretching the legs. His teacher's comments led Donald Kent to take over the world in Hugo Boss. Oh my god. Dude, you're the best, man. You're the friggin' best. Because that is my real dream right there. That is my true dream. Um, Unfortunately, I did get accepted to art school, so I don't know if that's in my fate, you know. But yes, sirree. Um, kind of wondering if I should have this kid like without a tooth or something, just to show his age. Could be a fun little device. Or make him look like a crackhead. I don't know which one. Maybe not. A little more desperate in the eyes. Yeah, man, I gotta get me some Hugo Boss. There's a Superman series in the comics that came out years ago, but they basically created a Russian sort of like, I guess I'm going to say like a Russian communist Superman. This is kind of a what if story type thing, you know. What if Clark Kent had landed in Russia instead of America? You know, really fun concept. Shit. I think Jim Lee illustrated it. I'm pretty sure he did. And I somewhere in my computer I still have like the screensaver for it. It's basically Superman kind of walking through the air in like I don't know. It's like, you know, in Moscow how there's like that giant square with the whatever the parliament buildings or what have you, and you know, it's the background. It's wintry, and there are, you know, just dozens and dozens of tanks and airplanes in the air, kind of all around him as he struts in his red red communist uniform. And the point of it is not obviously that I like communism, which you guys obviously know I despise communism, but that seeing Superman in this kind of ultra authoritarian, you know, quasi-fascist style is extremely cool, like wicked ass cool, like very very fash wave, you know, super fash wave. So granted, the ideology and the symbolism is off, but it was just still wicked cool. So like it's kind of an image that I keep in mind, I guess. I guess Homelander is maybe the new, sort of like the version of that, you know. The Boys is a very degenerate series. It's disgusting. It's got some foul sexual shit in it that I like makes me angry. But anyway, and I think it's just so funny how they create a character like Homelander. But this is so stupid. They're making our memes for us. They're so stupid. You know, they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna make a white supremacist superhero, and he was rejected by his father, all he wants is to be loved, and he's very weak inside, but then you know, like it's comedy, dude. It's fucking comedy. But anyway, so I'm a big Homelander guy. My nephew got me into The Boys. He like set me up with like a temporary account. I guess it's Netflix, and he's big into comics and stuff. So like this, it's just one of those things that we like to nerd out about, you know. And so he's not right wing though, you know what I mean, you know. And we got to talking, and he's like, "So who's your favorite character?" I'm like, "Oh, fucking Homelander for sure," you know. Well, he didn't say fucking, but and I mean, I'm like, I want to, you know, I'm gonna be me, you know. This is who I am. I gotta be me. Oh yeah, babe. Anyway, I'm so grateful that I'm not hiccuping anymore. That was embarrassing. I was like, how am I gonna do a show like this? Oh crap! I gotta work. I gotta get on the drawing table. Oh Lord. Anyway, that's that for that. Homelander is awesome. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yes. So that's a page, and then comes the magical inking. You know, I should get an inker. I mean, I love inking, but like I could produce a lot more, a lot faster if I had a good inker. Oh, kind of kills the. I don't know. Like inking is really, it's the. I don't know, man. It's like I really sort of need to ink my own work. I just have to. It's just I'm the only one who knows how I like it. Now, granted, if I had like a pro inker who was like a legend, and I'd be like, shut up, Donald, and give him the pages. You know, like I wouldn't hesitate a second. And I've actually had something like that years ago. I had something like that happen. And then your eyes just fall out of your head because you're like, boo, you know. Like, oh, it could be so good, you know. Anyway, one last page, and that's the end of this job, and then I go on to the next phase. So, but I feel like inking is the thing to do. Oh man, I'm still in pain. Yeah. It brings new meaning to suffer for your art. Like I really would like to get this one done, this older one. I'm still kind of groggy from the anesthesia, so I don't know if I'm making sense even. If I'm coherent even. I don't even know if I'm funny or not. All right, that's a bit nicer. You know what? A lot of the inking on this page is like super fine, like brain surgery type inking, and I'm more. I don't want to have to do that because I just feel like it's not so fun to watch. So I'm gonna move on to this area here. All right, maybe a little water. Stay hydrated. Um, I pretty much. I mean, I didn't see the entire boys season series or whatever. I just tried to fast forward through a lot of it. you Get to the good parts. You know. Um, and I'm like, in my little echo chamber, I'm thinking, wow, man, like Homelander is so popular. Why not just have a Homelander series? Like, you know, I don't know. Show him doing heroic things, getting rid of bad guys, degenerates. Wow. Is Trump gonna win, guys? What do you think? Kind of a dumb question in a way. It's funny. One thing that strikes me like the most ironic about everything is how our enemies work within the system. Like they still pretend that like there's a legitimate government. There's like what are the who's that black lesbian that does the press conferences for the White House? Like she's dumb as a rock and she can't like hold a conversation and shut the hell up. I don't want to hear your rap. Don't need your shit. Get out of here. So, and like it's just grotesquely obvious how fake it all is. And like I just don't care anymore. And so my thinking is because the whole thing's all fake, why even continue to keep up the veneer of like the act of the whole thing? Why not just be full on, straight up? No, we're taking over. This is it. We're like we've infiltrated, and we're not here for you. You're here for us. Pay us taxes. Blah blah blah. Whatever the whole thing is. And because it's just ridiculous. It's I mean it's creepy. I suppose it's very Jewy if you think about it. Like the whole idea of like, well, let's just keep pretending that it's America, that we're still people are still free, and that the system still works. And is that is that to stop people from, I don't know, from revolting? Or like what's the point of keeping up the veneer of the fake news and everything? It's all obviously fake, like why? So I mean, I don't know. I guess that's kind of what it is, maybe. I don't know, because I feel like most Americans are just sort of too lazy and too dumb and too ignorant to like do anything about it. That's a very, very cruel thing to say. And I'm sorry for saying that, but like, And that's actually horribly untrue because there's a lot of people in Canada and America that and Europe, etc., that are trying to do things, but are constantly shit on. So I apologize. I kind of have to take that back, but um, I don't know. It's just, does anybody else get that sense? Like, why keep the theater going? Like, you've already fucked up the country. You're not protecting the borders. Yeah, Karine Jean Pierre, right, Jean Pierre. Yeah, she looks really French. She's hilarious. Yeah, and like, I mean, you almost can't even hate her because she's just so stupid. It's like you feel sorry for her. Not sorry, but like there's that one dude. I don't know if he's with Newsmax or Fox, but like he destroys her out there. Like he just destroys her. So if the Biden administration this, then why do they do that? And well, I've gone over that, and I'm something something blah 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 blah. She's just it's absurd. This really is my whole point. What I'm essentially saying is like, why keep up the front? Why continue this lie? It's just be like, look, 50% of Congress has dual citizenship with Israel. All of the major departments are run by Jews. You know, like if you haven't figured it out, you're a loser. This is what we are. This is what we're here for. This is how it's gonna be. We are your new overlords, and we're taking the mask off. I guess I would not make a good Jew then. So who's your favorite Jew? Let's see. Who's the guy? Seth. Who's the guy that exposed Hillary with the WikiLeaks? Was it WikiLeaks? Seth something or other. It's the famous picture of Jack Kirby is. Jack Kirby is Jewish. Jack Katzenberg is his name. I'd say he's definitely one of my favorite Jews. I got a lot of favorite Jews in comics, actually. Gil Kane. There's a good bunch of them. There's a couple irritating ones, like Harry Chaikin, I forget his first name. But, I've always liked Stan Lee, even though I didn't get the subversiveness of things. Of course, most people don't, but Karine. Wait, John Kirby jumps out and saves Karine when it's critical. She just checks off all the boxes. Oh, you're talking about Karine. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I don't. John Kirby. I'm not. I feel like I should know who you're talking about, but you just made me think of Jack Kirby, who's like one of the gods of comic book art. Hello, Mel Stenells. Welcome, Mel. How you doing? I assume you're probably new to this channel, so I can show you some other comics artwork that I've been doing on this project. There's lots and lots of comics content on my channel. I live stream quite a bit. Are you a comics fan? Are you? What's your background? Are you into the other political content that I have on here, or here's an interesting character. This character is called Capital Pig, and on one side of his lapel and on the other, either side, he's got buttons for both the Democrat and Republican party, meaning that it's like a symbol for a corporatocracy, like the corporatocracy that we live in. So there's a lot of interesting characters in this story. I'm not the writer of this story, just to toss that out there, but it's just a chill stream, hang out, just like stream of conscious, talk about stuff, whatever, like current events, spiritual things, psychology. What do we talk about on this channel? On this show, I should say. Memes, internet culture, things of this nature. I don't always play house music, but I like house music, so I kind of have that going on in the background. Zoom in a bit. I might actually change this if it's all like okay baby music, We put on some. What kind of music would you like to hear, Mel? Kung Fu and Aliens. That's true. Oh god, you know me too well, bro. You know me too well. Don't scare the new guy off, okay? Yeah, I do Kung Fu. I lived in Asia for 5 years. And I've studied like ufology for like 18 years just as a hobby. It's funny because whenever I add that tagline of like just as a hobby, like people always laugh because like I know so much about it. And they're like, "Are you sure you're not like an alien or something?" No. But it's usually pretty interesting somehow or other. Like I don't know how I managed to get through 2 hours and still be interesting. But somehow it works. I Kung Fu's a fascinating topic. I just oh come on with this shit. Let me. I'm not into like music that's like some black guy trying to seduce somebody. Like that's. I'll pass on that. Hey baby. Do women actually like that? I mean, seriously, do they actually like that kind of talk? Only the dumb ones, I guess. Hey baby. Go brush your teeth. Okay. So what else? Kung Fu, yeah. So I don't know if you guys are even interested in that topic, but occasionally it does come up. Sure enough. There's just a lot of interesting stories with that. Yeah, like this pen's a little dry, so I'm gonna no Barry White for Kent. Actually, I like Barry White. I think he's okay. Trying to think of like, who I love is Lou Rawls, man. You'll never find another love like mine. I don't know. I just did that. That sounded just like Lou Rawls, didn't it? Oh my God, it's amazing, uncanny. Donald Lou Rawls Kent. Holy shit! I got a whole new thing going, man. And then suddenly the music turned into reggae. I think I'm gonna have to find some more different music, guys. Give me 10 seconds here. I would love to play like Dark Side of the Moon or like some album that I like, but YouTube will, shut me down. Like I'm that important. Uh, dark synthwave. Whoa. No, that's not it. That's not it. You guys into some synthwave action? A little bit of cyberpunk. I think cyberpunk fits the aesthetic of this page. I would say. I just found a really cool animated sci-fi movie that's like an old classic. Um, it's the kind of thing Dave Martell would know all about, and like I don't know how this slipped under my radar for so many years, but so like there's a movie called Heavy Metal. Have you guys seen it? And it's came out in I guess the probably early '80s or late '70s, I guess. Got a great soundtrack, and you know it's just a classic for like sci-fi comics nerds, you know, and it's a niche kind of thing. So I'm always looking for stuff like that. I don't know if you know who Ralph Bakshi is. He was a filmmaker from the time, famous for a lot of animated movies. I think he did Fire and Ice, which is sort of more like a Conan style um, animated adventure. Heavy Metal is insane. Yes, that's my brother right there. Thank you. I'm gonna turn it down a hair. It's kind of like the robots are taking over kind of music. But anyway, there's a movie that came out called Star Chasers, and I would wager that one of the animators from Heavy Metal did that. I'm sure it wasn't just one person that did it, you know, because they have teams of people. But I looked it up, and you can see the whole thing. I think they have the whole, like the full movie on YouTube, but usually you can find stuff like that on archive.org. And I watched it the other night. And some of it's a bit cheesy, but like there's a lot of stuff in there that's actually very impressive. And some of the art is way above its time. Like they put in huge amounts of time on the like spaceships, and they even have an early version of a type of 3D computer generated animation where you know you can see the like the main characters have you know their spaceship that goes around, and it's you can tell it's not the same as the flat 2D animation that you usually see. You know, it's clearly 3D. Um, so I would say that is probably one of the earliest versions of this type of 3D animation. Anyway, it's got some you know little sexy bits in it or whatever that is kind of like reminiscent of heavy metal. Um, you've got your sort of innocent kind of Luke Skywalker type uh, character, and you've got your scoundrel Han Solo character, you know, and you've got a mission with a mystical sword, you know, and like, you know, a boy who saves his people from slavery from the evil robot race. It's very enjoyable. Um, Star Chaser, and some funny robot action and stuff like that. There was a funny Nick Fuentes clip that I saw recently where he talks about Star Wars and how they get these women to direct it, and he's essentially saying like women hate Star Wars, like they don't understand it. and blah 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 blah, all this stuff, you know. So he makes a case that's like totally true and totally convincing. There's no, it's not misogynist. It's simply true. It's just like this is just the truth of it, you know. And not only that, like these female directors, actresses, etc. They know that they're ruining it. Like they're like, I'm a girl boss, and I'm gonna come in here and fuck everything up. You know, I'm gonna just like rewrite the whole thing and destroy the main characters and just make me look good. You know, and like it's like what the fuck is going on? You know, so like this kind of shit just drives me crazy, and that's part of the whole like comic skate culture is despising and rebelling against this kind of shitty culture destruction that we see from like the left in the media. You know, they know what they're doing. Like they're I mean, the most recent which I just had talked about this on a previous show. There's a Pakistani woman that is the director of the most recent like Star Wars spin-off, and she openly says that she likes to make men angry. You know, it's like fuck you. Okay, just you know, what better way to make your movie bomb than to say like, oh, I'm out to make half the audience angry. Like, you deserve what you get, you dumb bitch. You know, fucking cunt. You know, but it's not in a sense. You almost can't say it's like her. It's the people that hired her who knew they were. You know, they know what they're doing. You know. Anyway, let's move on here. Maybe I should get back to Barry White impersonations instead of complaining. The FBI called. They said, "Could you stop with the complaining? It's boring, and we have to sit here and listen to your stupid show." Hey there, bye there. No commercials on my show. I don't know if I need to turn that music up or not. Probably not. A little irritating. I really am looking for something more melodic, not like so angry or whatever. Uh, this has got like a John Carpenter vibe to it. All right, moving along. Let's see. Charmin Obaid Chinoy. Is that the director that I was just referring to? Or is that some music you want me to put on? Director, yeah. What happened to Panther Den? I don't know. What is Panther Den? I can't answer that because I don't know what you're talking about. Panther Den. Yeah, music's getting a little repetitive. I think I'll switch it up. Red rum. Oh, but 4:30. Oops. All right, here we go. A little bit of Bach. Bach is back. After this commercial. Oh, all right, let's stretch a bit here. Panther Den, I wonder what that is. Well, I can't say this has been my best, my best show. I'm not really on top of my game right now. You know, it's just in the hospital yesterday, so. But we're doing okay. Just tired. I think I might have to wrap it up here soonish. Oh, Westchester County. Oh, yeah. Oh, here comes the music. One of the ideas I had quite a while ago was to do a series of short comics that are all the illustrated version of famous songs. So like Hotel California by the Eagles. That would make a great little story, a little comic book story, you know. Um, and then I was just trying to think of like what other ones, because some songs are stories, Um, Smoke on the Water. I mean that's pretty cliche, but it's a story, you know. I mean, as a guitar player, that's like one of the most cringe guitar lines ever, but whatever. Um, but I think this such a thing would be pretty cool and pretty popular to do, or to you get the idea. Um, I could even see it spawning like a genre, you know. Genre, is that the word I'm looking for? Hiccups are coming back. Ugh, shit. Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to drink some water again, guys. Ugh, super annoying. Oh, fuck. Panther Pen is famous for his hit single Shut Up, Bitch. Oh, I wouldn't know that. That's not the kind of music I listen to. If you don't get copyright strike for old music, Cap Capsberger Chiacone moves and it used a guitar, giant guitars. I could look it up. Tall glass of water and curl forward. All right, I'll try. I'm hiccuping while I'm drinking, and I'm afraid I'm gonna fucking choke. So I think I'm gonna close up the show here, guys. I've wasted enough of your time. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful journey towards comic book fame and glory. I've been rhyming a lot in this show. It's very strange. Anyway, love you guys. Have yourself a good one. Thanks for joining me, and forgive the hiccups. We'll see you next time.